Welcome to a small coastal town where the sun sparkles on the waves. Meet Elara, a girl with tea-colored hair, known as the town's guardian angel. She is always the first to help, smiling as she carries heavy bags for the elderly while cherry blossoms dance gently in the warm spring breeze. Her days are a constant blur of kindness, often staying late at the office to finish work for colleagues who have already gone home to rest. Even in the pouring rain, Elara gives away her only umbrella to a stranger, standing soaked and shivering just to keep someone else dry and safe. She says yes to every single request, her life a collage of selfless acts that paint her as a beacon of hope for everyone she meets. But look closer at her hands. They are starting to show faint scratches and a subtle tremble from the heavy burdens she chooses to carry alone. She grips the weight tighter, refusing to let go, believing that her only value lies in how much she can provide for the people around her. We often mistake fulfilling others' desires as the only way to prove our worth. Elara lived like a candle, burning brightly to light the dark way. She forgot that even the strongest candle has a limit, and wax eventually runs dry when there is no one left to shield the flame's heart. Night falls on Elara's small room, now painted in deep shades of melancholic blue. The vibrant world outside feels 1,000 miles away from here. She collapses onto her desk, her body finally giving out under the weight of Rowan's extra paperwork that she promised to finish by the morning. Her breath is heavy and her skin is pale. Illness has finally caught up with her, draining every ounce of energy from her tired, broken body. In the dark, her phone vibrates incessantly. Messages from Lisa and calls from Kieran fill the screen, demanding more of her time and her effort. Elara stares at the glowing screen, with eyes full of exhaustion. Her hand reaches out but stops, trembling as she realizes she has nothing left. For the first time in her life, she lets the phone ring out into silence. The heavy rain outside mirrors the quiet storm brewing in her. She slowly drags herself to the mirror, the flickering light casting long, jagged shadows against the wall as she looks at her own ghost-like reflection. The girl in the mirror is a stranger with hollow eyes and a spirit that has been squeezed dry by the demands of an ungrateful world. She looks down at her hands. They are completely empty now, devoid of the gifts, the help, and the strength she used to give so freely. Kindness is not a bottomless well. When you spend your life watering everyone else's garden, your own heart eventually becomes a dry and lonely desert. This is where the true test begins. When the music stops and the light fades, who will remain by your side when you have nothing? The next morning is cold and gray. Elara walks down the familiar street, her steps slow and heavy as she faces the world without her mask. She meets Rowan, but when she tells him she cannot help today, his friendly face instantly twists into a mask of frustration and bitter annoyance. He turns his back on her without a single word of concern for her health, leaving her standing alone in the cold morning air. She checks her messages, seeing Lisa's photos of a vibrant party. Her best friend ignored her cry for help to chase another night of fun. Elara stands still as the crowd rushes past her, a lonely island in a sea of people who only saw her as a useful tool. Kieran finds her and complains loudly, blaming her for his own inconveniences because she wasn't there to fix his problems like she always does. Visually, the invisible threads that bound her to these people begin to snap one by one, falling like dead weight to the cold, hard ground. The most painful test is realizing that your value was only measured by your utility. When you stop giving, their fake affection simply disappears. Those who once praised your endless kindness are the first to walk away when your hands are empty and you can no longer serve them. A kindness without boundaries is not a virtue. It is an open invitation for the selfish to feast upon your soul until nothing is left. Elara watches the last thread break, feeling a strange mix of crushing heartbreak and a terrifying newfound sense of freedom from her heavy chains. Elara sits on a grassy hill, the horizon burning with the orange fire of a setting sun. The wind whispers secrets she finally understands. She lets the tears fall, each one a release of years of pent-up sorrow, and the crushing weight of trying to be everything for everyone. Memories flash before her eyes. The meals she skipped, and the simple joys she denied herself just to make someone else's life easier. She remembers the beautiful dresses she never bought, choosing instead to give her savings to people who never even bothered to say thanks. She stares at her empty palms, the wind whipping her hair. At first, the void feels terrifying, like a hole that might swallow her whole. But then, she does something different. Instead of searching for a burden to pick up, she slowly brings her own two hands together. She wraps her arms around herself in a gentle embrace, a silent promise to the girl who has been neglected for far too long. Her eyes open, and the reflection of the sunset reveals a new kind of light, not the soft glow of a servant, but a fire. In the depths of her emptiness, Elara found a profound truth. She is not a resource to be consumed, but a soul to be cherished. The first act of true kindness must always be directed inward. You cannot pour from a cup that has been shattered and left dry. As the sky turns to deep purple, she stands up, her heart lighter than it has been in years, ready to build something new. Morning returns to the town, but Elara walks with a different rhythm. Her shoulders are back, and her gaze is steady and clear. When Rowan approaches her with a stack of papers, Elara looks him in the eye. She says no, with a calm, polite determination. She watches him walk away in a huff, but this time, it doesn't hurt. She uses that reclaimed time to enjoy a quiet tea. She spends her afternoon in a small garden, tending to a single plant. As it grows, she feels her own spirit beginning to bloom. She still helps the elderly neighbor, but now it comes from a place of genuine joy rather than a desperate need for approval. Walking along the shoreline, the salty breeze cleanses her mind. She no longer feels the need to carry the world on her back. Her hands might be empty of other people's expectations, but her heart is finally filling with a sense of quiet and lasting peace. A soft golden light seems to follow her now, a protective boundary that keeps the takers away while attracting those who truly care. True kindness is a gift given from abundance. It is the overflow of a soul that has learned how to love itself first. By setting boundaries, Elara didn't lose her friends. She simply cleared the weeds from her life to make room for real flowers. She realizes that those who truly love her will respect her limits, while those who only used her will naturally fade away. She sits by the ocean, watching the waves come and go, understanding that life has its own ebb and flow of giving and receiving. Her aura is strong and bright, a beacon for those who seek genuine connection rather than just another person to exploit for gain. Every step she takes is now grounded in self-respect, a foundation that can never be shaken by the whims of ungrateful people. She is no longer the town's sacrificial lamb. She is a woman who knows her worth and guards her peace with quiet strength. Elara stands under the vast canopy of stars, her silhouette small but strong against the infinite beauty of the night sky, finally at peace. Let us step away from the world of animation for a moment. Look at this simple cup of coffee, steaming gently in the morning light. Consider these open pages of a book, a quiet life lived with intention. These are the small moments that truly matter in the end. A simple message appears before you now. You are enough. You do not need to earn your right to exist through constant, painful sacrifice. I shared Elara's journey with you because her story is my story too. I spent years terrified that saying no would mean being abandoned, but I finally understood that the only person who was truly abandoning me during those long, dark years was me, ignoring my own needs. Do not fear your empty hands. They are not a sign of failure, but a sacred opportunity to finally reach out and hold yourself. Imagine a heart that beats for you first, a spirit that is nourished so that it may eventually overflow with genuine, healthy love for others. Please, if you have felt this way, share your story in the comments. I am here to listen and to walk this path with you. Thank you for choosing to be kind to yourself today. You deserve the same compassion that you so move freely give to the world. Take a deep breath and remember, your value is inherent and you are worthy of love simply because you are you. Be well and stay kind.